What's up, people? I'm going to be taking a look today at a hidden little tool in UEFN that's really good for making thumbnails. So one of the best tools in UEFN for creating thumbnails and posing characters is the IK rig. But there's a catch. In a standard, fresh UEFN project, the control rigs we need aren't actually available out of the box. We have to manually migrate them from another project. The good news is that all of those assets are available in engine. You never have to leave UEFN. You just need to bring them over from another project. So I'm going to walk you quickly through how to take them from one project and bring them into this one and apply them to a character device. So let's start by adding the Fortnite Character device into the level. You can find this in the Fortnite folder. Search for character device and drag this guy with the mannequin into your map. Now, initially, all we have is this rather boring blank mannequin, but that's great because we're now going to apply a Fortnite character to this. And you can do this one of two ways. You can use the details panel over here, which is great if you know the name of the character that you really want to use. I don't know a lot of the names of the characters. I mean, there's like hundreds of these guys. So I generally use a different method. I go to the content browser. So go to the Fortnite folder and find the characters folder. And once you're in here, you'll see all of the characters, but with much bigger thumbnails. This just makes it easier to choose the most striking characters for your images. The other benefit here is that we will be applying an IK face rig to these characters. So we want a character where the face isn't concealed by a mask and where we can really see the expressions. Let's try this guy, Bright Gunner. Great. And now we have Bright Gunner in the scene. The next stage is to create a level sequence. So right click here. First, to keep things organized, let's create a new folder and we'll call it Cinematics. And then within Cinematics, right click again and create a new level sequence, and we'll call this LS for level sequence thumbnail. Now open up the sequence and we can now add our character to the sequence in two different ways. You can either drag or drop, which is obviously the quickest, but I prefer to add using the add button here. Then add actor track and add character device. This looks like a longer way around to do it, but when you're adding more than one thing to a sequence, you can simply highlight them on your map and then add them all together by using this method. Now here's the issue. If you go up here to track and actually look for control rig, you'll see that there's nothing here. Now there is this, the FK control rig, and if we take a look at this, now this is kind of ghastly. This is what you will see if you, for example, port a character from UEFN into Blender, but it's unusable. So we need to find a proper IK rig to pose this character. But before we do anything else, let's save this project, and then we need to open a new project. So go to File, Open Project, and go to Feature Examples at the bottom here. And the project we want is animation. This will have all of the assets that we require. Now name your project. You're going to want to use this to migrate these assets again and again in the future for a number of different projects. So name it something memorable. And here we are. This is a great project to have a look at when you have some spare time and have a look at some of the other things in here. It's very useful. But for now, all we need is this IK rig. So let's highlight the folders we need and get them migrated into our other project. Shift click on Sequences, Mannequin, and Fortnite. Right click and go to Migrate. Now all of these are all of the assets that are going to be migrated over. If you've never migrated anything before in UEFN, don't worry about this. This all looks great. All you need to do is click OK. Now this is the important bit. Make sure you're migrating these assets to the right folder. So for us, we go into our Fortnite projects. I'm looking for tutorial IK. Go into your content folder of the project, and that's the one we want everything to go into. So make sure it's in the content folder of your project folder. Now, there's an important note here. Once the migration finishes, close UEFN completely and reopen your project. There's this weird long-standing glitch, quirk, bug, or whatever, where some migrated assets don't show up if you open your project in the same session. So be sure to close everything down, restart, and then you'll see your assets in your new project. Now we're back in the project. You'll see we have the mannequin, the sequences, and the Fortnite folder. And we now have to just repeat the same process that we tried before. So we need to open up the level sequence and we go to the character device, add a new character track and go to control rig, and we still can't see them. But do not fear. All you have to do is turn off the filter asset by skeleton, and here you'll see the rigs that we want to use. The first one to apply is the Fortnite body rig. This means we can block out the main pose of the character for the thumbnail or for the promo image that you're working on. And now you can pose the character as you would with any other IK rig. There's one small glitch that seems to happen. It might just be my PC, so if anybody knows how to fix it, please leave a comment. Basically, as soon as you apply the rig, the usual zoom that one can do on a PC using the left mouse button and just moving the mouse back and forwards is disabled. This makes it quite irritating to rotate around the model. Apart from that, it's really easy to use and it's a great asset. Next, we can add the face rig, and we do this exactly the same. We add the track, we go to Fortnite face rig, and there it is. I mean, this is not a MetaHumans face rig. This is pretty basic, but it's really good for these kinds of stylized characters. You know, the movement of the eyes, you can furrow the brow and move the jaw, etc. So there's enough there to create some basic expressions, make them a bit more combat ready, some scowling and whatever you need, really. And that's it. Once you've migrated those rigs into your project, you can pose any of the Fortnite characters, but all entirely in Engine. You don't have to go out to Blender or whatever software you've used before to make those thumbnails. I'm working on another video at the moment where I'll show you how to bring in Mixamo animations and then use these same rigs as layered adjustments on top. So you can tweak poses and expressions without rebuilding everything from scratch. It's super exciting. It's super fun. There's some really dynamic animations in Mixamo that you can use as the basis of these poses. Thanks for watching here, people, and I will see you soon.